Hey loves, what day is it? Happy Monday. Lots and lots of people reaching out to me on DM about this banana bread concept. What do you think about it, Molly? I mean, obviously I have so many thoughts about it. You know, here's the thing. Part of breaking up with sugar is not being so needing to not being so victim and not being so susceptible to needing a sweet. To me, that idea of needing a sweet, I need a sweet, it just gets tricky really, really quickly. Part of my thought on it is that is in a way teasing the disease, as we say. In a way, I just get worried. I mean, remember me, I'm a 12 out of 12. So for me, 2 ripe bananas and oatmeal, which oatmeal, I could eat like a horse, especially when it has really, really sweet bananas. Because when bananas, the older and riper they get, the more condensed with sugar they get, right? So to me, I read that and I was I want all of them. And anytime I think I want all of them, I can't have any of them or choose not to have any of them. And so, it's there's a part of it, you guys, where of course, we're all trying to game the system. We want our proverbial cake and we want to eat it too. But you have to remember this thing about gaming the system. The house always wins. And that's been my experience, right? Anytime I've tried, I mean, I had what a relationship I had for a year. I mean, this is many years ago. When I first started breaking up with sugar, so 11 years ago with sugar-free. I had two, I had a couple of sugar-free chocolates. And then I ended up traveling with them. I'd bring them everywhere with me. And then 2 became 3, but you know what? The story always goes, the house always wins. And I just always want to bring us back to relationship. And I want to bring us back to freedom. And, needing a sweet is not a free statement. It's just not. And I would just look at it in that way. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm here to be your coach and kind of the authority on this and your bestie. And I want you to full freedom. I'm not sure we can get full freedom when we're craving sweets in that way. Nikki, the nutritionist that wrote the relationship rebuild plan, she has this great line, right? And she says, you need to love your food, but you don't no, she doesn't say it. She says you should love your food, but you shouldn't love your food. So I think when we get into needing a sweet, trying to recreate banana bread, which, I mean, if my friends could have taken out a restraining order on banana bread when I was deep in my abusive relationship with sugar, they would have been they would have put that banana bread in jail in 3 seconds flat. Probably have yeah. And so I think that there's this piece where, full freedom, depending on where you are on the relationship quiz, it's in chapter 4, I'm a 12 out of 12, I'm full-blown abuser. That never works out well for me. So one size doesn't fit all, of course, right? But if you struggle, I really want you to take what I'm saying into consideration. You always want to think about motive. And it's why in the world, if banana bread has abused you for years and years and years, are you trying to recreate it? Right? Why and the other thing, just to be mindful when we're looking at paleo recipes, tapioca flour is flour, my loves, and almond, so I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm never here to tell you what to do, but I am here to help you. I am fiercely, the lioness that I am, devoted to your freedom. And I think the other thing is, when you're eating, I mean, honestly, I've been thinking about that banana bread recipe ever since it was posted. This is really where I qualify myself, isn't it? I really got this thing bad. But so if it were me and I ate that banana bread recipe that you guys posted, I would be thinking about it all day. I'd probably be thinking about how I could have it. Could I have it for breakfast? Could I have it for snack? The other thing, just from a relationship rebuild plan perspective, is that particular recipe doesn't fit into the relationship rebuild plan in that every single part of the relationship rebuild plan has a protein source and a fat source. And that particular recipe just has a carb source and a fruit source. And I tell you this because that recipe hits your system in this very quick way. If you look up glycemic index, that glycemic load goes in really, really quickly. If you look at the vows chapter, it sort of hits your, it has the capacity to hit your system the same way a smoothie does, because when we put protein and fiber into our food, it slows down the food into our bloodstream, which makes the insulin response like much less. This is just me being your teacher. I support anything that you want to do. I just support you being happy and free. That's what we're here about. I know, Camille's saying that the smell of it, Camille, the reading of the smell of it. And I think the other thing I just want to share with you is that when you're looking at these paleo recipes, be mindful. Paleo's not no sugar, no flour. Paleo's no grains. And I guess things that came from the land. I'm not really sure. I'm not a paleo expert, but I just want to be thoughtful about that. You do you, boo. You know, at the end of the day, you're the architect of the house. You're the one in the relationship. But I just want to say, like, in my experience, both personally, I mean, mostly personally, but also professionally, it's like when we're seeking out those same foods, like, there's just never been a time in my life where, like, dessert hasn't just, like, wrecked me. You know what I mean? There's just never been a time where those dessert foods have worked for me. And in 11 years, you know, I've just had such peace and freedom from not having them. It's hard to remember that when you're where you guys are. Over on the other side, it's like it wouldn't even occur to me to eat that because it would take over so much of my brain space and it would take over so much of my day. And I don't like feeling that way. That's what I think about it. You're allowed to think whatever you want about it. I mean, if that really works for you, God bless. I mean, that's great. And also you have to remember, right? That relationship quizzes really mean something because I'm really full blown, you know? Can't put any of the toothpaste back in my tube. It's all out. It's done. I'm put to pasture. No more sugar and flour. That may not be the case for you. But what I want you to think about is, what is my motive? How does it make me feel? How does it make me feel afterwards? Like, does it make me want more? Those are foods that are terrorists. Those are foods that have you hijacked. And you deserve better than that. I can tell you that for sure. So just be mindful of that. Also be mindful of, like, paleo stuff. And we don't post paleo recipes on breaking up with sugar because it's not a part of our relationship rebuild plan. Though I do wish it, I mean, I tell you, what I would do to safely and responsibly and peacefully eat banana bread. But the life I have is much better. And the life I get to live with you guys is the best ever. I'm obsessed with you. I love you guys. If no one's told you that they love you today, I love you. And, you know, just your lioness coach over here, fiercely devoted to your freedom. Love you deeply, deeply, deeply. And, like, I'm down to have more conversations about this. Let me know what you want to talk about. Always here. Always love a good conversation about banana bread. That's what I'm made to do. And I hope you're all enjoying this beautiful day. Love you so much.